Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The topic I'm going to talk to you today about is the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 20, Reunion Part 3. Uh, the Reunion Part 3 started off where it left off. Where it left off of the last episode, where Andy was well, not Andy, well, Sheree was calling Anthony, and then Sheree asked Anthony, did she owe him any money? And Anthony said no, he didn't. Sheree didn't owe him any money. He don't know what Drew's talking about. Drew is lying. And then Andy interject and uh, asked him, what did you say that Drew's husband was gay? And then and then Sheree chimed in and said, yeah, because Drew is saying I'm saying that I didn't say that. I just said that I'm telling them what the assistant said. And then Anthony said, well, I don't remember saying that. I don't think I said that. But if I said that, I probably don't. But if I said that, I probably don't remember. But I don't think I said that. Somebody else said that. And then Drew kind of chimed in and said, Anthony, I heard you say it on national TV. Anthony, you said that. No, no, Drew, I didn't say that. I said somebody else said it was somebody else said it was somebody else said it. I didn't say it. And then they were going back and forth. And then next thing you know, and then Andy say, so you're saying that you did not say that about Drew's husband Ralph? No, I didn't. Bloom. Andy hung up the phone, and then Sheree said, "What? Why you hang up the phone on him? That wasn't nice." And then Andy said, "Well, he gave us the answers. He said that he didn't say that, so since that was all for him to say." But Sheree was so shocked and surprised, and Drew was looking kind of funny too. And then Andy moved on, and he said, "Drew, why did you have such a problem with Fatum and stuff like that?" And she was saying, "Well, no, at first I didn't have a problem with Fatum because Fatum was Sheree's friend." She said, "But when we was at the birthday party at Brooklyn's birthday party, that's when I had a thing with Fatum when she told me she did a background check on me and my husband." And I was saying, what background check did she do on us? Talking about me and my husband was using aliases. And then Andy said, "Did y'all use alias, a different name?" She said, "No." She said, "No. Ralph's name is Ralph is Ralph Jr. His daddy name is Ralph Sr. And so when she talking about the lady named Dolores came up, that was Ralph Sr.'s ex. That was she said it was Ralph Sr.'s ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or something like that. So that's why we thought maybe she had said something about it. And her name was Dolores or Darlene. So that's why when that came up and they was trying to make like that, and then so Sonya chimed in and said, well, it didn't look like that to us. When Fatum showed us the papers, so that's why I just said that's why I said it looks like my husband, because when you come up, you'll see Ralph Pittman Jr. and Ralph Pittman Sr. And then he was married. That's why when it come up, it'll come up in my husband's name too, because he's named after his dad, like that. And then Andy read a fan question and said, Drew, you like to use a lot of props and stuff. Why'd you use those props to throw that bone at Fatum? And she said, well, Fatum came at me first with those accusations, talking about my husband was gay and talking about we was using alienists. And what it was, I thought by Sheree knowing her, I thought Sheree would kind of warn Fatum and check Fatum, but she let Fatum get out of hand and let Fatum say whatever she want to. So if you come for me, I'm gonna come for you. And then everybody was looking all kind of funny. And then Andy said, well, you did use those props. And then Andy said, somebody said you got them props from production. She said, well, I did kind of borrow from production. And he said, well, why do you like to use props? Like the fan said. She said, well, I'm an actress, and I'm an actress, and I love to use props. And so everybody was saying it. And then so and then so Sonya chimed in again and say, well, Drew, that was kind of over the top. That was kind of wrong for you to do that for Platoon. And then Drew said, well, nobody was taking up for me. Everybody was listening for Platoon. And that's why I was saying Sheree should have been the one that took up but Sheree didn't take up for me. And then Kenya said, well, yeah, that was kind of Drew. And you did. She said, Drew, you was right about Platoon being wrong, but you was wrong about the way you do it. And then Sandra chimed in again. That's what I was trying to say. And I'm looking at, girl, you had the chance to say it. You just kind of piggybacked off of Kenya when Kenya told Drew that she felt Drew was right, but her delivery was wrong. And I'm looking at Sonya. Every time somebody try to give Drew some corrective criticism, like Kandi or Marlo or anybody else, you always jump in on the bandwagon. See, that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant. That's what I meant to say. That's what I was trying to tell you. She was handling stuff, and it's like, girl, you try to find every excuse to say why Drew was wrong about this and wrong about that. When Fatum was doing the same thing that you was doing, going at Drew for no reason, and trying to get clout and clout chasing and stuff. And then after that, Andy said, well, let's move on. And then Andy said, we're going to a break. And when we go to the break, we're going to bring the husbands on. And then it was like, while in that little intermission, while in that little intermission, Drew was trying to say, well, that's the way I felt, Sheree. I thought I should tell Kandi of what I said, and then Kandi would tell you, but I looked at Kandi, should have told me way before you, and she was saying, well, look like Anthony was the one who was telling you stuff about me, of what you call it, and then Andy was like he was on the front, he kept on going back and forth. Andy said, look, we've already addressed it, we've already talked it, and then they went to commercial. Oh, let me get some water and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I switched to the next scene, and then Andy brought out the husbands, and he said, how y'all doing? He said, how you doing, Todd? Todd said, I'm okay. And then and Todd and Andy looked at him. He said, these two got on white and you got on black. And then Ralph said, I guess he didn't get the memo. And then Todd said, no, I didn't get the memo. And then Andy said, Ross, this is your first reunion. How do you feel? He said, well, I feel okay. I don't feel nothing about it. And then he said, what y'all doing before the reunion when the ladies came in the hallway? And then they showed a clip of where Todd, where Ralph and Ross was coming up, and Todd was telling them, y'all ready for the reunion? He said, well, no. He said, well, let's go over some of the stuff that is time. He said, Ralph, you know they're going to mention to you about the gas line. He said, oh, yeah, about the gas line. And then he said, Ross, you know they're going to ask you about this stuff. And then Ralph said, well, you kind of going to be in the hot seat too, Todd. Todd said, yeah, I know I'll be in the hot seat. They're going to be asking me certain questions. And then they came on, and then they were saying, yeah, and they said, yeah, that's why you were so mad at Todd, huh, Kandi? She talking about, yeah, because he started drinking, and that's what they was doing while we was getting ready. And I told him, no, you can't be doing that. This is the reunion. And then Ralph said, we're going to wake him up. We're going to get him together. And then they all got to laughing about the little clip and stuff. And then Andy said, Ross, which one is the most hardest to do, reality TV or football? Ross said, reality TV, because see, I didn't know what I was doing and stuff. He said, oh, reality TV. He said, reality TV. He said, yeah, reality TV. And then so he said, well, yeah, Todd, what do you think about Marlo talking about you and stuff? He said, well, I really don't pay Marlo too much mind. and all that kind of stuff. And then he said, Ralph, uh, what do you think about people saying that you gaslight Drew and you do Drew real bad and stuff? And then he said, "Well, I didn't like what certain people saying about what I did to Drew at first, but after I went back and looked at the tapes and stuff, I saw that the way that I was treating Drew wasn't right." And he said, "Well," and then Andy said, "If you had to do it over again, what would you do?" He said, "If I had to do things over again, I would approach the situation differently." He said, "Yeah, okay." I would have been more of supportive to Drew and what she wanted. And Andy said, "Yeah, okay." And then Andy said, "You know, we made a whole movie about gaslighting." And then they showed the little clip. And he said, "Did you like it?" And he said, "Nah, I ain't like it at first. I ain't like it at first." And Andy said, "Well, yeah, a lot of people have been saying that." And so he got on. Then he said, and then he said, "What do you think about certain people saying calling you gay?" And he said, "They know I'm not gay." He said, "Sheree know I'm not gay." He said, Sheree should have given me the respect that I gave her." And she talking about, "Well, I didn't say you was gay, Ralph. It was the assistant Anthony." He said that. He said, "But you didn't try to correct him." He said, "You know that I'm." He said that you know that I'm not gay." And then Sheree said, "How would I know that? I don't know. The streets be talking. I'm just going by what the streets say." He said, "But still, you weaponize that against my wife and stuff like that. That's between you and Drew. Why you bringing me in it? So if I have respect for you, you should have respect for me." "Yeah, I have respect." They look better back and going, and Ralph said, "You called me names." Sheree said, "I ain't never called you no name." And then Ralph said, "Yeah, you said something about a deal though. I ain't say that." Andy said, "Yes, you did say that, Sheree." And then they showed up confessional. "Yeah, if Ralph don't suit them, look like a little deal though." And then said, "Well, I'm sorry I said that, Ralph." And Ralph said, "Okay, but just next time you let the stuff be between you and Drew and stuff." And then so Andy said, "Ross, what do you think about Kenya saying that you was aggressive, during the Jamaica trip? How did you like it?" He said, "I didn't like it." He said, "But I understood what." He said, "I didn't like it." He said, "But I understood where Kenya was coming from." He said, "But all them ladies was coming at my wife at one time." And I said, "Honey," "We don't rock like that. We don't rock like that." And I kept on going and stuff like that. But he said, "I do understand what Kenya said." And then Andy said, have y'all discussed this, off camera, behind the scenes?" And then Sonia chimed in and said, "Yeah, after the Jamaica trip on the plane, we got to talking about it. We discussing this stuff." And then Kenya chimed in and said, "Ross, you know that I didn't mean that I didn't mean it, like that. I didn't mean it that way." And she said, "Ross, I would never think that you would harm me or do anything to me. It's just that I said the word." He said, "Well, you know what that word, when you say that word, and it kind of." And so Ralph said, "Well, I accept your apology, Kenya," and stuff like that. And then Andy kind of moved on. And then he asked Todd. He said, "Todd, what do you think about Marlo talking about Kandi married a man that's under her tax bracket?" He say everybody on this, everybody on this stage is under Candy's tax bracket. And then Andy kind of gave a little smile and a little grin, and he had a little thing around his thing. And I guess he was telling Todd that he make more money as land around there. And then Marlo talking about Andy is the one. Andy jumped in and said, "Don't put me in this. Yes, between you and him, don't put me in this." And then Todd said, "No, I'm not talking about Andy. I'm talking about you, Marlo. You the one said it." And she talking about, well, and then he said, "Look, the reason why I said that you paid for all your trip, because she was thirsty at that time. She was trying to get in the friend group, and back then I was working on production. I was working behind the scenes, and the reason why I said that she paid to be in the group, she paid for all of her expenses." Marlo, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You don't know what you talking about, Todd. I ain't paid for no expenses." He said, "You did pay for your expenses." And then so she said, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." And then Andy said up under his breath, "I apparently you did. And then they had to run across the screen. Apparently she did. And he said, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I don't remember paying for no thing. He said, yes, you did. He said, you paid for your trip. And she told me, no, I didn't pay for no trip. And Andy said up on his breath 2 or 3 times. And then she said, no, I didn't. Andy said, apparently you did. And then so everybody heard him. She looked kind of funny. She said, I did. Well, I ain't pay for no hotel room. And then Todd said, but you paid for the part of your trip. And I ain't pay for no hotel. And Andy said, no, you didn't pay for the hotel room, but you did pay for the trip. So that's so what it was. Andy co-signed with Todd, and what it was, she looked so funny. She said, "Well, that's it. Well, and stuff like that." And then Andy said, "Well, let's move on." And then Andy moved. Then Andy moved on and said, Kandi, it took a bucket of KFC chicken for you and what you call to make up. And then that's what Sonia chimed in and said, yeah, the KFC Jamaican chicken is real good. Have you ever tried it, Andy? Andy said, no. And then so Kandi said, let me give you a little backstory like behind that. She said what it was, I was still holding on to stuff. And then Todd told me, he said, Kandi, I really don't pay too much mind what Marlo say. I ignore Marlo. He said, but you still got this going on. He said, you need to let this go. She said, it was Todd. So if Todd had to mention that before we got on the plane and told me that, I wouldn't have forgave Marlo. And then so after that, what you call asked them about all of the stuff that Marlo been saying, and then Marlo said, "Well, I'm sorry, Todd." And Todd said, "Okay," and then they said, "Well, Todd accepted." They had the little birds twirling because Todd didn't really accept the thing. He just said, "Okay," just to move the show along. And then that's when Marlo was talking about. Next time she gonna just stay out of people's marriages, keep her mouth closed and stuff, and then I'm gonna try to show actions first, and then Kandi say, yeah, that would be better. And then after that, Kandi asked Marlo. He said, Marlo, do you believe Kandi is worldwide? Yeah, I believe Kandi is worldwide. But see, if we go to places like Paris or London and stuff like that, I can get into spaces better than Kandi can. Kandi can't get into them kind of spaces. And then Kandi said, what you talking about? If I'm worldwide, I can get any that space. And then next thing you know, she talking about now, see, because Kandi's in music, and I'm in fashion, and I can go with certain things in fashion, and Kandi can't get in those spaces. And just like me, if I go into the hip hop space or stuff like that, I couldn't get in hip hop spaces. And then Kenya said, Marlo, shut up. You don't know what you talking about and stuff like that. And then she kept saying, like I say, I can't. She's better at music and writing and hip hop stuff. And then Drew chimed in at the bottom and said, hip hop, what? What she talking about? Kandi is an R&B artist, and then so Kenya said, the more you talk, Marlo, you sound stupid. You need to shut up. And then so Kandi say, that's what I'm talking about. See what she just did. And then Andy say, well, we're gonna move on. Then Andy say, a little birdie told me we got some surprises. The next thing you know, they brought out the Sheree clothes and all kind of stuff like that, and the show ended. Like I said, it was some parts of season 15 that I didn't like, but the majority of the parts that I did like, I'm going to put the ratings for 19 and 20 at the end of this video. They did say that they're supposed to have a new a housewife confirmed. Her name is Janelle. I think her name is Janelle Smith. She's from Camilla Rose. So all of that'll be going on. This is Abe Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. I am out.